Call to order the Village Board meeting for Monday, June 1st, 2026. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Lapijanis?
Here.
Trustee Anderly?
Here.
Trustee Wilbrant?
Here.
Trustee Price?
Here.
Trustee Huska?
Here.
Trustee Price, could you please lead us in the pledge?
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving forward, I'd consider approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Motion,
Second.
second by Trustee Alapijanis. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to President's Report, I have none. Moving on to reports and questions from trustees and working groups, starting with Trustee Enderle.
I have none.
Trustee Alapijanis.
I just wanted to let you know that I was able to facilitate an appointment with Siskiyou Prince owner, and I'm meeting with him on Wednesday.
Great, wonderful, thank you. Trustee Johnson.
Okay, so I know the street, they've started the, filling the holes we should be seeing with the dirt, right? And then when is patchwork gonna begin? Just so we. So that next couple days? Okay, and then will they clean the street too afterwards, you know? Okay.
We'll ask them to.
Okay.
We'll probably have to find two.
Okay, just make sure that that gets done. All right, thanks, appreciate it.
Anything else, Trustee Johnson?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you. Trustee Huska.
I have nothing.
Trustee Price.
I've gotten a lot of questions on the lead service replacement, and, you know, some of these will be happening on, across the street from them, and how come not mine? And I know we have a map somewhere that shows all of the ones that are being done and not done and kind of phases.
Yeah, it's on the website.
It is on the website, okay, I'll direct them to that. And I think some of the confusion too sometimes was that, like, the main will be on the person's side, one person's side of the street, and they're like, why are they digging up in front of my house and
Well,
stuff like that. So
as Trustee Wilbrand can attest, the difficulty is we have to touch every address and verify that, well, when we did the
what it
meter
actually is.
replacement, we knew that whether it was lead in the house. But we also then have to verify whether it's lead from the B box to the main, and that results in additional hole for every residence, even if they don't have a lead service line to their house. We have to verify that they don't have one from the B box to the main.
got it, okay, that makes sense.
In phase one, how many, has there anybody been, what's the stats? Has anybody not got it done?
No, everyone that was identified within phase one has been done.
That's good.
Was that everything, Trustee Price?
Yes, thank you.
Trustee Wilbrand.
Friday, we kicked off our first French market, and finally Friday, we had the best weather possible, a little hot for my liking, but we had a good turnout for both the market and the concert. We had lots of repeat vendors from last year that wanted to come back. We had a few new vendors, and we still have a couple more spaces available, but we had 20 plus some vendors where our full capacity, I think, is like 25. So really good job. There was a good flow throughout the entire 4 hours. Lots of people stayed for the band. Bamboozles did a great job in the pump house. I walked by the next day. Everything was very clean for the most part. So it was a good all-around kickoff. And moving forward, it'll be each Friday, but just for the market, except for those final Fridays of the month when the band comes in. But so far, so good. So thank you, Thomas, for everything, just literally everything.
Awesome.
That's
Thank you,
it.
Trustee Wilbrand.
Yep.
Joe, anything from the team?
No, nothing other than the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to questions from the audience. This is an opportunity for those in the audience to address the board on items that are both on the agenda and not on the agenda. So we'll start with the former items that are on the agenda. And I don't have anyone scheduled under that. So let's move on to items not on the agenda. And we have Bernadette wishing to speak before the board. So Bernadette, please come forward. So those, okay, thank you, Bernadette. So Thomas and Joe, I imagine you know the property that is being referenced here, either through letter, email, or verbal discussion. Could you update Mrs. Stoker about that? And then Bernadette, in about 2 weeks, we're going to have a visualization presented to us by Director Tim Scott, and it will show what the board's plans are for the Spring Hill Mall property. Sure. Well, I'm going to leave it to, sure, I'm going to leave it to Joe and Thomas to convey that to you. Why don't you do that offline?
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to address the board? Okay. Move on to consent agenda items A through D. I need to read each into the record. Item A, ratification of payments for $20,678.34. Item B, approval of bill list for $219,438.48. Item C, special event request for Circle K Cars and Coffee Car Show. And item D, special event request for the 2026 Shark Fest Corvette Show. Is there a desire by any board member to remove any of the items from tonight's consent agenda? Seeing no changes suggested, I'd entertain a motion to approve consent agenda items A through D.
So moved.
Motion.
Second?
Second by trustee Johnson. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Trustee Huska?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Lapijanis?
Aye.
Trustee Anderly?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrandt?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries. Moving on to resolutions and ordinances. Item A, ordinance approving 2 15-minute parking spaces at Second and Washington. Trustee Yuska.
Apparently, there's no convenient pickup spots in that area north of Maine. Get my directions straight. And so this was suggested to facilitate that need for people picking up an order to go or whatever, that have 15-minute spot from 8 to 6, which is consistent with everywhere else in town. So, but is the two references that across from the Squire?
Yes, right at the
Okay.
corner. It'd be the two
'Cause it's a
spaces close.
diagonal.
Yeah, diagonal spaces closest to the corner.
Okay.
Comments or questions?
Chief, how can we enforce that? Other than having somebody hanging out downtown checking for 15-minute intervals?
That's pretty much it, because back during my age here, we used to be the tire drivers. There are some computer programs out there.
Well, could,
Somebody could park here and then go move it, drive around the block and park somewhere else.
I've seen in some cases that it says flashers required. Maybe we do something like that so that we know.
I can just say from the 2 15-minute spaces that are here on Second Street, they're pretty much self-policing. I mean, most people are courteous and cognizant of the 15 minutes and use them in that basis. And after 6 p.m., they become parking spaces. So we really haven't had any direct complaints that people have been abusing the 15-minute spaces.
I'll counter that with somebody that either works at Woodfire or one of the businesses has been parking in the 15-minute spot all day. Very recognizable, notable car with all the stickers on the back, so literally all day.
Well, the 15-minute space is not
Right there.
here. No, that's not the 15-minute
Is
space.
this a 30-minute space? What's the short?
15,
Right
no, the 15-minute, the only 15-minute space is up closer to the shoe store and across on the diagonal at Village Hall.
What's the one that's the first or second space?
Those are 2 hours. I mean, they're labeled as 2 hours all up and down the street.
Whatever the one on this side with the sign is, cars there.
I think I
all
know
day.
which one you're talking about. Chief,
Yep.
would you be able to ask for the patrol to just to check on that and see if we can rectify that?
And again, it's just, we can put signs out there, but enforcement, it's you
But
know,
I like
unless
the-
somebody calls and complains and says, I've been waiting for this 15-minute spot for
Yeah.
15 minutes so I can go buy a coffee.
But I like the flashers required because somebody's not gonna leave the flashers on their car on for 8 hours because that could drain the battery. So that could be a way for us to determine, okay, that they are there for a temporary,
So that goes on the sign.
it goes on the sign.
And
So
I
then
think,
we would
I
replace
think
the
that's what
other
you did in
sign.
Schaumburg, Chief. That's where I'd seen it.
Yes, and that's, you know, if it's a repeated offender that, whether it's, you know, say the 15 minutes, if it's a one-off, somebody who's there for 17, 18. I think let the repeat offenders that are there for hours.
Yep.
Those, if we get a heads up, just like anything else, a lot of offers, anything else, we get a heads up of it's vehicle license plate ABC 123. We put it in our special ops control assignment. Especially if you know general.
So maybe we make this effort, provided the board approves of it, and maybe Eric, the team, as they make the sign, whether it's flashers or hazards, whatever the appropriate terminology is, maybe we add that to give that extra layer of motivation for people to observe the law. Trustee Huska.
I move to approve an ordinance designating two 15-minute parking spaces at Second and Washington.
Motion.
Second.
Second by trustee Alapajanis. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Huska.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Lapagianis.
Aye.
Trustee Angeli.
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrandt.
Aye.
Trustee Price.
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries. Moving on to item B, ordinance authorizing, amending, and approving a loan agreement by and between the Village of West Dundee and the IEPA. Trustee Huska.
Well, we already have, the 3.9, yes, thank you. And, I think we are trying to incorporate phase 3 into this.
Well, phase 3 is because of the way we set this up and because of the fact that we got shut out from phase 2 funding, and then we were able to secure bypass funding, we've rolled phase 3 into phase 2 for the most part. But we originally estimated the phase 2 project to be 3.9 million. Based on the total numbers, it appears that our costs are probably going to be closer to 4.2. And so we are increasing the bond ordinance or the loan request from 3.9 to 4.2 to account for the $300,000 in increased expenses.
And that's the ones that are itemized later in the agenda.
Yes,
So this is just to increase the amount, right?
correct.
Okay.
Okay. Trustee Huska.
I move to approve and adopt an ordinance amending a loan agreement between the Village of West Dundee and the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency in a total amount of $4.2 million.
Motion.
Second.
Second by trustee Johnson. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk.
Trustee Huska.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Lapagianis.
Aye.
Trustee Angeli.
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrandt.
Aye.
Trustee Price.
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries. Moving on to unfinished business. Item A, recommendation to reject bid, approve a proposal, and approve a PSA for Randall Road WTP sludge disposal. Trustee Huska.
Well, Eric, since you're here, I'll let you give the details of why we have to reject and.
Yeah, this is for radiological sludge disposal on the Randall Road. That's the one we have to study and the PSA done on. Didn't have a ton of experience on this. This is Duffield. Duffield helped us out a little bit, help us navigate the waters. There weren't a lot of players in the industry. Generally, someone like Republic that owns the end destination of the material has an advantage. In this case, they were the sole bidder, but they were as non-compliant to the bid specifications as I've ever seen. They kind of just didn't participate. And unfortunately, that's not the first time we've seen someone who's maybe the only player in an industry kind of either doesn't bid or they just kind of give you a proposal instead of the bid, where a bid has a lot of specificity on the information and things they're supposed to provide, and they didn't. So we went back to the drawing board, ended up reaching back out to them, like, what's the deal? Can you not do this? Oh, we can. We're just not real familiar with these municipal bid processes. So with Duffield, we negotiated a a proposal instead, which is attached for your review. That's what being put forward today for request is that it satisfies everything that we need to do, and then it satisfies, there's a lot of oversight both from FEMA on this and U.S. Department of Transportation, because this stuff is going over the road. So this proposal satisfies all the regulatory stuff and the functional stuff that we need to get the sludge out of the tank.
I'll give you guys credit for being creative.
Yeah, and we did, since the bid, we knew we had to reject the bid, that was at minimum, but where to go from there, we did reach out to another player who was interested, who still ultimately has to bring it to Republic, but they were able to, they have, I don't know, more resources for the actual contractual, and where Republic actually has to hire a contractor to physically remove it for them, and not a lot of compliance history. They wanted, their quote was kind of by the hour, I think it was, and it just was too much exposure.
Comments or questions from the board?
Yeah, just so essentially walk them through getting all the stuff that they should have done in the first place. Yeah, so that makes sense, and the price even came down, so, yeah.
Yeah, so
38,000.
when their price for basically the same thing we asked for was cheaper. So I had to be like, what is that about? It should really be the same. And they did admit some confusion between them and their subcontractor, and they took exception to the bid bond, which is like 10% of the, and it's not even used unless they default on starting the contract, but I didn't get too deep in the weeds on them. We're like, okay, no bid bond because we're not bidding anymore.
Okay. Great, trustee Huska.
Okay, we've got three motions. They have to be separate, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I move to reject the single bid provided by ACV Environmental Services, Inc. in the amount of $190,408 for sludge removal at the Randall Road Water Treatment Plant.
Motion.
Second.
Second by trustee Price. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Trustee Huska?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Lapigianis?
Aye.
Trustee Angeli?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrand?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries.
I move to approve a proposal with Republic Services for sludge removal at the Randall Road Water Treatment Plant at a cost of $152,494.
Motion.
Second.
Second by trustee Price. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Trustee Huska?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Lapigianis?
Aye.
Trustee Angeli?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrand?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries.
Move to approve a professional services agreement with Duffield Consulting Engineers Limited for federal regulatory compliance on behalf of sludge removal at the Randall Road Water Treatment Plant at a cost of $12,200.
Motion.
Second.
Second by trustee Price. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none.
Trustee Huska?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Lapigianis?
Aye.
Trustee Angeli?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrand?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries. Again, Eric, nice job working the problem. Moving on to item B, professional services agreement with Baxter and Woodman, Illinois State Route 72, leading pedestrian interval traffic modifications, Amendment 2. Trustee Yuska.
Okay, this, because of the time that has elapsed since we first started this project, and it looks like it won't be taking place till 2027, Baxter and Woodman's original proposal has, everything is far exceeded what they had specified from the beginning, so there's an additional request for dollars.
IDOT has amended their traffic signal standards and requirements, and so the original plan submittal has to be reviewed against new standards, which requires review and additional engineering analysis by Baxter and Woodman, as well as then the submittal to IDOT.
And we think this time it's gonna do it.
It's every time we submit something, it's 6 to 9 months before we get a response out of IDOT.
And Ness has bugged them in the past at least, so.
Yep.
Hopefully keep her on that. Yeah.
Does it, I noticed you put 550 to 600. That seems high, but is that what it costs to put those, to change all those stoplights?
Well, you're changing the electronics, plus it's the crosswalks.
Okay.
The stamped crosswalk, so it's a
It adds up.
it's a twofold, it's an expensive project.
And it's just, and we'll change the crosswalks in 3 locations, right? First, second, and fifth, right?
Correct. All four.
Both sides, right? Yeah,
Well, on 72 and on the side streets.
yeah, okay.
Or per intersection.
Correct.
I guess it adds up. What?
Nothing's cheap anymore.
Okay.
I move to authorize staff to execute a professional services agreement with Baxter and Woodman for additional engineering services along Illinois Route 72 as part of our downtown intersection and traffic signal upgrades for LPIs and upgraded crosswalks at an additional cost of $25,000.
Motion.
Second.
Second, yeah, trustee Price by a nose. Any other comments or questions?
Just just specifically, no left turn lane is included in this, correct?
That's
Yeah.
been pulled out last August.
Okay, good.
Plus it would have delayed it anyway too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so.
We have a standing motion. Madam Clerk?
Trustee Uska?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Lapijanus?
Aye.
Trustee Andalou?
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrand?
Aye.
Trustee Price?
Aye.
This motion carries. Moving on to item C, recommendation to award lead service line replacement phase 2. Trustee Uska.
Well, we had two bids come in, or sealed proposals, and IHC is significantly lower, and we're familiar with them, and we've kind of laid the law down to them about expectations for next year, if
Yeah,
they
that's-
get this.
It's really where my hope is, because it's gotten difficult with them, and then turning the corner, learning some things, we're really hoping we could build upon the expectations. My feeling dealing with them over the last 2 months is that our expectations have been obtrusive to them. You know, like it's more than they're used to. And I thought that might affect whether they wanted to bid or not, because they actually did not show for our pre-bid meeting. So I thought, okay, they're out, but they bid, so they kind of know what they're getting into.
Were they getting better or?
Yeah, they're starting to learn a little bit too. We can tailor some of the personnel, or we can request some of that too. We've had people inside the company saying you kind of want this superintendent and that, so at the pre-con, we'll cover a lot of the pain points that we've dealt with here and hopefully have a much smoother phase 2.
Just from my personal experience, the install went great, right? There was no issues. They showed up on time. Communications, I think part of it's our fault, part of it's their fault as to what to expect, how long to keep, running, not drinking the water, that whole process. Cleanup after, it seems to need a little help and a little work,
Inside the home?
Inside my house, yes, as well, outside, they dug those holes and they just kind of, stayed there, and they said they were gonna patch, and they just kind of stayed there at the outside, and then they added the white rock, and no one knew what the white rock was and whether they were gonna replace the rock, etc. Now they've replaced and done dirt, right? And we've got notification from the village on that, but the streets are still, if you walk down the streets, they got 1 million rocks out spread all over because it's been so long, it's, because it was installed during the winter, right? So, it still looks a little bit messy, so that's feedback on my personal feedback.
Agreed, and, obviously with the January, February, March major construction, we didn't have the option of kind of tailoring restoration as we went along because of the winter conditions. The asphalt plants were open, so we were stuck with kind of waiting until April at a minimum to deal with street restorations. The liability aspects required them to increase the fill material back to an appropriate level so it didn't leave a depression. That, because of the winter conditions, they became all stone. This case, there's no reason why we can't backfill with black dirt. It's cheaper for them, it's better for us, so we won't have to deal with the whole stone issue within the parkway, and that's part of what we're going to kind of move forward with as we go through this. But it's because we're starting phase 2 in the warmer months, we have this option. And we think that's going to minimize a lot of the headaches that we've incurred.
With communication too, that it seems like with construction and contracts, we've gotten away from it as an industry, but early to midpoint in my career was very typical for a contractor to have to provide shortly after the pre-con a very detailed construction schedule where they would be when, everyone understood it was weather dependent, but that would include restoration and what type and that kind of stuff can be communicated. I don't think it'd be unreasonable to ask for it in this case, and we can communicate that along with other information like we did last time. Here's when this stuff is going to occur, so you don't necessarily have to wonder. No one's asking the question before it appears on the contract schedule.
Yeah. And they did things linear, right? So they did all the installs, right, of all the meters first. Then they did now they're working on all the cement, then all the grass, then all the patchwork, right?
Get separate subcontractors.
Right,
Well,
it's
that's it.
efficient that way, but yes, it leaves stuff open, so I'm sure that's.
Yeah, it leaves stuff open, right? Yeah, I know there's an efficiency play, but there's also, if you're first on the list, you have to wait the longest to get everything,
But there were separate subcontractors. The blacktop is a separate contractor, the landscaper is a separate contractor. IHC is doing the lead service line replacements themselves.
Yeah,
For
the
cost,
challenges.
those contractors want to come in at once,
Yeah,
spend
right.
2 or 3 days, mobilize once and be done to keep the cost low.
And,
But
I mean, we
they
could
can-
specify, but we'd pay for it,
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, we can, a rough restoration standard can be communicated also. You don't have to be final, but bring stuff to grade,
Right.
generally clean it up. Although you're not dirting and seeding, just make sure things are to grade.
I have one question, just out of curiosity, and I just lost my page what I was looking at. It looked like there were some corrections here on the dates of completion. They were increased, was that something that they wanted negotiated, or we are allowing them to?
No,
Let me
I think-
get here, what does it say? Go ahead, you probably are gonna
no,
answer.
well, I mean, we would discuss that at the pre-con, but they would have
Yeah.
relented on that because that would be technically non-responsive if they.
Yeah, bidder agrees the work will substantially be completed within 180 instead of 120 calendar days, and then supplementary conditions within 210 calendar days instead of 150.
So it's like crossed out on the bid.
Yeah,
Yes, they would have relinked Baxter, talked to him about that. That would be, are you non-responsive? If you're holding to it, you're non-responsive. Because you can't change anything in the spec and be responsive.
okay, all right,
So they have to adhere to
To the-
what's there before they crossed it out.
okay.
And Joe, just when are you thinking starting phase 2? What's
That we don't know yet.
Right.
We'll know that we'll have a pre-construction conference usually within 3 weeks of an award. But in this case, this actually is a contingent award because the IEPA bypass funding looks really good, but we haven't actually received it. And now, because of this bid, we have to increase it. That's what the borrowing ordinance is. We have to ask for an extra $300K of bypass funding, which Baxter thinks they will grant at an equally good chance, but yet we won't actually give them a notice to proceed till we have these funds.
We should probably have a better idea, probably within the next 30, 45 days.
So is it later this summer maybe, you're hoping? What's the hope?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll have a start date probably within the next 30 days.
I move to award a contract to IHC Construction Companies LLC to complete Phase 2 of the lead service line replacement project at a cost of $3,795,357, contingent upon receipt of bypass loan funds from the IEPA.
Motion. Second by trustee Price. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Trustee Eska,
Aye.
Trustee Johnson,
Aye.
Trustee Lapijanus,
Aye.
Trustee Andalou,
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrand.
Aye.
Trustee Price.
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries. Moving on to item D, professional services agreement for lead service line replacement phase 2.
Well, this is, now that we've approved that, this is for the construction supervision.
Yeah, so this is normal construction supervision, which in this case is enhanced. All the verifications for each address is information the IEP has to have to continue with the loan process. And then all the administration of, all of the loan requirements in itself is also a part of this.
And just as a point, the Baxter and Woodman staff that we've had on site has really done a yeoman's job of deferring in dealing with a lot of the village resident issues directly, which has been a saving grace from the staff perspective.
Yeah, they've been very responsive to residents. They're right on site all the time. That's been invaluable. The communication has been good. Chris Grady is the person on the ground, which we believe we'll have again. So.
I move to approve a professional services agreement with Baxter and Woodman for construction supervision for Phase 2 of the lead service line replacement project at a cost not to exceed $214,700, contingent upon receipt of bypass loan funds from the IEPA.
Motion.
Second.
Second by trustee Price. Forgive me. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Trustee Eska,
Aye.
Trustee Johnson,
Aye.
Trustee Lapijanus,
Aye.
Trustee Andalou,
Aye.
Trustee Wilbrand.
Aye.
Trustee Price.
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the order? Seeing nothing, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Johnson,
Second.
second by trustee Alpajanis. Any additional discussion or comment? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.